Hello everyone, and today I'll be reading Xiao Listener by me. So let's get into it. Xiao was not really someone who saw himself as a father. That was an area that he's never really tried to be involved in or know anything about. And so he has no expertise so far to speak of. So he never really saw himself as father material, and he truly never saw it happening. So, with that said, so the news that you were about to tell him, there were certainly a lot to take in, and you knew it would not be easy to break them through. So you tried your best to prepare, and tried to make it as easy and smooth sailing as it could possibly ever be. This was Xiao after all. He knew in the end that he would listen, and he would try his best to reach a solution with you. He loved you, and you were sure of that. And you were sure that whatever decision that you make, it would be the best for your child. Now, you knew that Xiao might be overwhelmed at first, and that is the only thing that you were worried about. You did not want to overwhelm him. You didn't want to scare him away. That was the last thing that you wanted to do. So, understandably, of course, you were trying to find a way to make it a little bit more easy to receive the news. But, after much thinking about it, there was no better way than to be straightforward with what the news were. So that's how it was going to be as you sat in the living room. So, Shao, I've been wanting to talk to you. About? About something very important. I would rather you pay attention. And also, please don't be surprised. I mean, it is pretty surprising, but I promise it will be fine. He looked a little bit anxious now. You were saying a lot of things and saying nothing at the same time. So he looked up at you. Leon, please, be honest with me. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not. Not really, but it's a complicated thing. Complicated? What could it possibly be? I'm sure whatever it is, we can deal with it. You're right. You're really happy he has this mentality, and that he's being optimistic, because right now you needed his optimism more than anything. You were anxious, really, because you did want a child. You wanted to have a family with him. Not that you were going to force him, but you hoped that he would want the same. So as you held his hand and squeezed them gently, you looked into his eyes and said the truth. And he stared right back at you in complete bewilderment. Hmm? Yeah, what I said. Wait, what? What do you mean? You can't possibly mean that, Wayan. You see, it did happen, so I do mean it. We are going to have kids. Or a kid. Probably just one kid. Are you really sure about that? Did you take multiple tests? Yes, I did. I would not talk to you if I was not absolutely sure. But right now, we have to know what we think of this. It's still early, so if we don't want it, then we still have time to decide whether we want this or not. You can tell me, and I want to hear your full thoughts. He stayed quiet for a while, thinking deeply. It wasn't that he didn't want a child. It was the fact that he was afraid of what having a child would entail. It was a lot. It certainly felt like a lot as well. Caring for a child, and being a parent of one, and trying his best to raise them. But as scary as it was, it seemed quite fulfilling. Because he had you. You were in that future. You would be raising that child with him. And he looked at you for a couple of moments, holding your hands. You see, Mayan, I know I may not look like father material, And I'm not. I'm not saying that I am. There's much that I don't know. There are lots of things that I have to learn, but I think I'm willing to try. I think together we can do something. So, if you would like, if you're willing to help me, and I'll do my best to learn on my own as well, I think we can do this, my own. I think I would want to be a father. He says. He's blushing. He's really shy about this. He's not used to being vulnerable with his own feelings like this. But he knows he has to be. And it's something that is quite unavoidable. He loves you. And he would want to build a family with you. It was scary, maybe, in its own right. But it was nothing that the two of you could not try and do. It was something that was on his mind. Not for now, definitely in a distant future. But if fate had it that it would happen a lot sooner than the two of you ever wanted or predicted, then maybe you should adapt. Especially since you seem to be so willing yourself, as you hugged him tightly, crying. Oh, Xiao, I'm so relieved. I was so worried that you would say something else, but I'm so thankful that you're willing. I love you. And I love you too. I'm sorry I worried you so much. I was just a little bit anxious, I suppose. That's alright. I was shocked too when I found out. It made me a little bit anxious. Maybe more than anxious because it's so a lot. Pregnancy can be very scary. But I'll be here with you, Ion. I promise you that. Whatever you want, whatever you need, I'll take care of you. I promise. I'll try to make it as easy as possible for you. I know it will be undoubtedly extremely painful. And hopefully, not as painful as others say. I hope it will be different for you. But just know that I will be with you in any way that I can. And true to his word, after that, he does happen to read a lot of pregnancy books, perhaps even more than you. He's just so curious, and so willing to try and help you in any way possible. You're never actually doing any chores after this, because he cherishes you so much. And he definitely does not want you getting tired or exhausted. Not on his watch. So, as to him questioning whether or not he will be a good father, he's certainly showing right now that he will be great father material. With all the books that he's been reading, and all the practice that he's been trying to do. You're proud of him, and your heart is full of love every moment you see him.